So I've spent a lot of years being a guest on radio programs, a routine guest, in fact, about 15 years now at this point. And one of the most common questions that comes up is, should I change my job? And you know, this is an interesting thing too, especially when you have callers calling in a radio program and asking that question as though it's possible to even answer it within 30 seconds in a radio type answer. But I have a couple of things because it comes up so often. When and how should you leave your job? I think it's first and most importantly important to understand the difference between a job, a career, and a vocation. I think I might have mentioned before in other tapes, but a job is to trade time for money. It's a miserable place to be, although it is often very noble. You have to support and take care of people, and it's the only thing available to do that. So the nobility of it is amazing, but it can be miserable because you're just trading time for money. At the same time, there's a career. It's a chosen profession for which a person has the liberty to pursue. The problem is that a chosen profession is not always one that suits you. I know that for me personally, if I wanted to become a professional singer, I would be in for a life of misery because I'm utterly tone deaf, and apparently just raising your eyebrows doesn't change the way your voice sounds. Now, the third, though, would be a vocation. A vocation is a chosen profession for which you are well suited. So to take a close look at what your skills and talents and what those things are and how to fuel those forward. It's very important, first and foremost, to understand vocationally where you fall. How do you do this? You go to detached third parties to ask whether or not your close family and friends have deceived you. So what does that mean? Well, your mom always says you're a great singer. Oh my gosh, because when you were in kindergarten, your picture was the best painting or crayon work in the hallway compared to the rest of the kids, and you hit the softball to a mild center field, and she was going Hercules, Hercules. But the fact of the matter is that the detached third-party people who observe your behaviors may not come up with the same review as they do. If those reviews are the same as your close friends and family, your mom's review, or your own very flattering perception of yourself, then you should pursue that vocationally. But if all of the other people have a detached perspective right here, in other words, they have no reason to put you down, but they also have no reason to build you up, or saying something different, you need to really examine that. So that's one way of looking at it. Are you in the right job in the first place? The second thing is this. What is it about the current role that you're in that you want to abandon? Is it merely the person that you're working next to? Is it the person who you're reporting to? Is it the overall company culture, the overall company mission? And where are you going from there? So if it's a temporary thing and you're willing to just basically abandon the whole thing because you're working with somebody who is next to you that started a month ago and you just can't tolerate it anymore, it makes a lot more sense to endure that. The higher up the chain the problem goes, the more permanent it is, the more likely you are to want to say, I should look further. So measure the weight of the decision against the intensity of the circumstance and its unchangeability because of that. The second thing that I would say is this. It is a bad idea to run from things in a career. It is a good idea to run toward things in a career. So if I just said, well, are you running away from something or are you running to something? And you said, well, I'm running away, I'd say stay. If you know where you're running to, then I would encourage you to go. So that's kind of the summary of this sort of thing. I know that that's a 35,000 foot view, but hopefully it helps you as you're considering your career, your vocation, and whether or not you should get out of your job.